Okay, good evening in Great China. It is Saturday, November 19th. Again, this is Cliff Tom, and it is an honor and pleasure to coach Mr. Eric Kong. And it is coming up on 8 a.m., so China is 11 hours ahead. So it is 9 p.m. in China. Waiting on Eric. I'm going to split screen this because I've got to pull up the worksheet that Eric wants to work on, which is pretty cool. I remember that, the tie. Let's see, is Eric? Okay. Okay. Good, Eric. Yeah. So waiting on Eric. Let me see what he said. Good morning. Yeah, it's Eric. That's so great. Eric is a very worldly. I'm talking to myself here, but hopefully talking. Your son is I do this for Eric's benefit to video this, but a very worldly young man at such a great age, at such a young age, which is wonderful and great. So waiting on him, but let me pull up the online worksheets, the Thai one. Thai boys, there we go. And let me get into, let's see what that was about. Sorry, I didn't prepare as best as I wanted to. Match the words, find the information. Good. Thai boy. We can read that as well. That's always good to read. I found reading languages helps, especially with native speakers, right? Or primarily native speakers, because then you sound more native, your accent, right? More intelligible and understanding to natives. I guess that's a whole goal of language, correct? Right. So I found that very good. All right. So this should be relatively quick. Let me pull that up here too, though. So Lingua House. Yes, log in. Okay, there he is. Thai. Thai students find. Thai boys rescued. Okay, excellent. Hello, Eric. Yeah, there he is. Good. Interesting. So maybe we'll do level 5. Hello. Good evening. Wan
Yeah,
Shang Hao, Zai Zhonghua. How are you?
yeah, so I was pretty good recently, and the weather is becoming colder and colder, so I have to wear like thick jackets,
Yeah.
and sometimes I felt really cold in the morning, and it's sometimes rainy with a little bit wet.
Yes, you are telling me, right? Ingwen Tua, that's like English slang, right? You're telling me I wake up, I'm in Florida and it's freezing. So I don't know what's going on. They keep saying global warming, right? Where's the warming? It seems like our planet is getting colder. Can you
Yeah, I agree.
You are more scientific, Eric. Please explain this. Why do they call it global warming when it seems like it's getting colder? Why do they say this?
Well, I think the warming is not um used to describe the temperature in one season. It is used to describe the annually temperature. They calculate it by adding all of the temperatures together um and I'm not sure about how to say it. Uh, it's the opposite of times. I don't know about the English word about it.
Uh Opposite of time. Yeah, sure.
Times.
Times. The opposite of time. You mean in math, right? In math, the opposite
Yes.
of time. Well, it would be division to divide
Yeah,
something.
division.
Okay.
Yeah, and divided into 365 parts, and then we can calculate it the temperature of every day in 1 year, and scientists also see that the temperature is keeping rising and rising up, so they call this global warming. But one consequence it's serious, and this may lead to in summer the temperature is getting hotter and hotter, but however in winter it's getting colder and colder. So the number that the two temperatures minuses is getting larger and larger.
Yes, I will give you a 9 on your IELTS answer. That was great, Eric. That was fabulous. So here is, I'm not sure if you can get that, Zhejiang. Well, maybe not because it's NASA. That's our national, what is it, NASA? It's the national, what's the acronym? Our National Associate,
Aero,
yeah,
yeah,
Aeronautical Science.
aeronautical.
Yeah, what is it? What? Come on, Cliff. I'm like, I've got a brain. Yes, our National Aeronautics and Space Administration in the US. So maybe you don't get that in China for obvious reasons. I don't think we would get China's version, right, of ours here. But let me send that to you. This is pretty fascinating. Yeah, I very much agree with you. The warming part just doesn't have to deal with the temperature, maybe, right? But it's it also all the
I
harmful
can
gas.
open the website.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Excellent. So there you go. Yeah, you might want to study this after our class because obviously it's all important to everybody in our world, right? Here's our famous American author, Mark Twain. So Mark Twain. So if you don't like the weather in New England, just wait a few minutes, meaning it will constantly change, right?
Yeah.
So I argue that weather has always been changing, but I don't remember it, right? The difference in temperatures. So they were saying, right, all of the harmful man-made pollutants, right, that we put out in the air has had a deleterious. There's a good word for you, Eric. Deleterious. Deleterious. Yes, deleterious. I did spell it. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot the LE, meaning it's causing harm or danger or damage, right? So it's having a deleterious effect, right? All of the gases, all the man-made things that we've been producing. Of course, we've all wanted to produce things, right? We want to make our lives easier, but now we see like the harmful effects of all of these gases and all of these products. So I think it's great that everywhere in the world, from China, US, from even Russia's doing, like, we're changing it slowly to electric cars, right? More solar panels. So I'm very hopeful that we will have less and less, right, of these harmful gases in our environment or in our ozone, right? That I think has been the number one contributor, right, of making these of changing our weather systems so drastically. But who knows, man? Who knows? Just hopefully it'll be a beautiful world for you and your children one day, right? So
Yeah.
all right, Eric. So how's everything else? How was school this week?
So it was good, but one thing not very fortunate is our school planned to prepare us a school trip. I think this week on Friday the whole day, and we can have fun. But unfortunately, there is a pandemic in our city, and there are 2 cases.
Ah,
But this is not serious because when they got to the airport, they were like brought back into the hospital because on the airport, they were seen coughing and coughing continually,
right.
and it's not so much damage to our city, but we still can't go on our school trip. But one thing we're happy with is our school, like said they wouldn't obey what the students want them to do, and the school I think its monitor said if the condition is okay again, he would prepare us another school trip.
Interesting. Very cool. Do you think one of the rationale or reasoning, right, that China continues with the lockdowns is because of population, right? China is so large, so many people, that if the pandemic gets out of hand, right, if so many people, like the healthcare system will be over flooded. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? What do
yeah,
you think? Do you think maybe this is one reason, right? Because if everyone, the healthcare, there's just so many people in China, right? It's still the largest, even though India and China are like 1/3 the world's population, right?
yeah.
But do you think because there's so many people, like if it's spread, the healthcare system would be overburdened? You see them like it couldn't handle all of it, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I
why.
think this is one of the reasons.
Okay.
And another one is because our country, I'm not sure about the exact reason, but I guess that's what the laws wanted us to do because there is a law called the epidemic or pandemic law, so everyone has to follow it. But now our country has made a new 20 listed stuffs about the pandemic. It says now we should do less like fewer lockdowns because we have to like develop and it just said that we shouldn't lock down as much as before, and sometimes we have to like go back to work and struggle again because when we are all in lockdown, the country's economy may not be growing.
Right. Well, that's for any country, right? We saw
Yeah.
that when all of the countries were in lockdown. An economy. I've taught economics. I would love to teach that again. I really like economics, but when you and I, especially macro, right? Do you know the difference between macro and micro?
No, I know micro, but I am not sure about macro.
Okay, what is micro?
Micro, there is a saying called the microwave and some micro telescopes. It is used to describe something really tiny and subtle, I think.
Yes, excellent. So to see something really small, right? So then hence
Yeah.
micro would mean small. So then yin yang, right? So then what would be the opposite of what would macro mean?
Yeah, it would mean very large and huge.
Yes, correct. So if you take English economics, hopefully you do, because I think you've got a very good business brain as well. Um, in the future, that it would be you could take one of two, either microeconomics, which is more accounting, more numbers, which I'm sure you would do well at, or macro. So I like macroeconomics because it's a bigger picture, right? You see maybe global trade, what nations are doing and why they are doing them. So I think during the pandemic, people just weren't, even though what made a lot of money, right, was Alibaba, Amazon, right? Because people had to order things to them and they were allowed to travel, right? And to
Yeah.
supply us stuff. So that was interesting. But macro, of course, economics means hand over. If you go to a more micro level, it means people even at the market, right, giving money. So if you are trapped, right, if you are locked down, you can't exchange money as quickly
Yes.
as possible, right? Hold on, Eric, because I think I gave you your English is so much better, even though they're great, my Yancheng University students. But I think I gave you the easy version. So what I am going to do, I'm going to delete that. Give me a minute here, my friend. I'm going to give you the very difficult one, even though I see that you're tired. So, but that's all right. I know you study and you work hard all week. So here we go. Let's do the level 5 because they give us 3 different levels. So I'll also send that to you as well on Ding Talk. The more challenging, let's call it challenging worksheet. It's up to you. I mean, if we could just do something fun, but I think we could always work on your English academic skills, right?
Yes.
So yeah, if you want to do that, or we could do something, fun later on. So there you go. Thai boy is rescued. Also, I've been meaning to do this because I don't know. Now, Eric, wait, are you what? Are you 15? How old are you?
14.
14. Ah,
14.
yeah, Eric. God, you're so young. All right. Hold on a second. So what is the age limit to sit for the IELTS? Eric, you can't even take the exam until
Yeah,
you're
I've heard of it. I have to enter the first year in high school. After that, I can take the IELTS, and there is the
yeah.
limit.
So 16. So when's your birthday?
Uh, the 17th of July. On that day, I will be 14 years old. So now I am 13.
God, Eric, you are only 13?
Yeah, in Chinese calculation, I am 14, but in the international one, um, I am 13.
Wow, Eric. Yeah, 朋友. Yeah. All right, Eric. That's fabulous. So Eric, you're just so ahead of I've got to meet who is the girl in your class that was number 1?
Yeah,
I can't believe someone beat you. She must be
yes, yeah, she is not in my class.
okay.
She is in another class in the grade. So in that grade, they are no, in that class, there are two great girls who are really good at not only English but also other subjects.
Yes, for sure. God, yeah. I've got to, yeah, we'll get need to Hendara Guanchi. So I can't believe this. So she must, I mean, you guys are just so well rounded and excellent. How old is she? She's 13 too?
Yeah, she is a bit bigger than me because I was born in 2009. She was born in 2008.
Wow. Do you talk with her? Are you friendly with her or no?
Yeah, I think we are both friendly because we don't want to be like really only competitors,
Right.
and that's not really interesting.
No, of course not. Does she have any future ambitions? Does she want to go to university Zhejiang in China, or does she want to go maybe abroad too?
I'm not sure about her plans because I haven't talked about her with these aspects.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Very good. Wow, Eric, I keep forgetting you're just yeah, so good. All right, my friend, it's just mind blowing because I don't even think my English was that good when I was your age, let alone another language. All right, Eric, ready? Let's jump into Thai boys. Okay. I think this is the large one. Let me shoot this down. So yeah, Eric, I think maybe then we could do that like I'm trying to strategize, right? About how to best prepare you to do phenomenal, right? So now I think if you could get a perfect score on your IELTS, right? So in my opinion, right? So I think maybe we should, especially over like Winter Festival, if you could just continue like reading what's her name, Malala, or if you
Yeah.
could, yeah, continue reading those books, right, and increase your English vocabulary, right? I think that will best serve you in preparing now in terms of your age and moving forward and getting a 9, right? I think there's no reason. I think you could get a perfect score on your IELTS. So, does that sound okay to just keep reading and maybe writing from the book?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's really good.
Okay, good. Because yeah, it's wow. It's just it's just unbelievable that, that you're so young. I keep forgetting. All right, brother, ready? Now, do you remember this story? Because this was
Mhm.
several years ago, but you were even younger. Do you remember the Thai boys that were trapped in a cave?
Yeah, I've watched it in the news for several days. So the news kept reporting about the news, and I think the boys may has been trapped into the cave for like more than 10 days.
Yes, very good. A good memory. Right. I think they were on maybe a football or soccer, right? We say soccer in America, soccer field trip, right? Or they were going
Yeah.
to or from to play, right? And then for some reason, I think maybe they made an excursion. They were just going to look, right? Have a look at these cool caves, right? There's so many pretty caves in Thailand. And then I think what, a monsoon or a flood, right? Just came in and swept them all in. So that was pretty harrowing. Do you know what harrowing means?
Not sure about its meaning. I guess it's frightening.
Yes, very good. Right. Good, Eric. So harrowing, to be harrowed or harrowing, right? Yeah, it means it's rather dangerous or it's a frightening proposition, something frightening. Okay, let's see. All right, Thai boys rescued from the cave. Yeah, Eric, have you ever gone dive? You've done so much with your parents. Have you ever gone diving?
Yeah, I plan to go diving in the Great Barriers when I am grade three, but um, due to some reasons, because there is the a limit, and I have to return to China. So I haven't been there, but I have tried to dive in the swimming pool.
Yeah, no, that's great. There's so many things that I've never that I want to do. It's not that I'm scared. Would you be scared of doing this or?
So right now in the swimming pool, I am not scared at all because there are all security members around me, and my teachers will help me, and the equipment I think is really good. But when I am in the wild, diving in the wild water, everything is unknown around me. I will be really scared about this.
Excellent. And now that's an interesting question. Are you scared of anything?
Of course. Some years ago, I am really scared of dogs, but now I am not.
That's
Only
it.
when I see those wild dogs, barking a lot to me. Now I am only scared at those kinds of dogs, and I think everyone, except those people like bear, I think everyone were afraid of wild animals like lions and poisonous snakes.
Yeah. You would. I hardly ever correct your English, right? But yeah, you would want to say so. That would be a countable term. So you'd want to say bears, right? On that
Yeah,
sentence. Yeah.
sorry. So what
No,
I
that's all
mean,
right, Eric. I
yeah,
hardly
bear.
ever. I just
Yeah.
once in a
So what
while.
I mean with bear is a person's name.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, you could say a bear, or, and obviously BARE versus BEAR, right? To bear bear, right? A nude bear, but no, in
Yeah,
that
he is
case,
an adventurer.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, Bear Grylls, yeah, he's cool.
Bear
British
Grylls.
SAS, yeah, pretty cool guy. That's interesting. My wife is afraid of dogs, but she was bit by a dog, right? In Dongbei, is that Dongbei? Well, yeah. Well, I asked you this before. Is Yanchong, is that Dongbei considered Dongbei? Yanchong?
Uh, no, it is a little far from Dongbei, nearly 1,000 kilometers. But
South.
if we
South.
want to go on a flight, it only takes about 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, I need to look at the map again because I've been teaching Yanchong University, but I've never been to your city, right? I
Yeah,
because
you can come here.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope to visit you and your family for sure. That would be great. That would be wonderful. But yeah, so my wife was bitten by a dog, so that's reason to be scared. Now that's it because I love dogs. So I the bigger the dog, of course there's scary dogs if they're trained to be scary, but I empathize with dogs and I can maneuver them. I think sure, right? So snakes. I was bit by a snake one time, so that's a reason, right? If you're bit by something, you can be afraid of. So really,
Yeah.
so dogs. How about skydiving? Would you be afraid to do this?
Skydiving, I have never tried of that. I think it's dangerous, but the Chinese team in skydiving in the field, they are really good at doing this.
Yeah. Would you? Okay. So yeah. So well. Okay. Do you equate danger with being frightened or being scared?
So it's just an unknown feeling, a feeling when I plan to go up on the stage trying to dive in the water. I felt scared, but I've tried to dive into the water from a 2 meter high place, and I think that's not interesting because there is not a very high level. But when I'm standing on a 5 meter one or a 10 meter one, I would be really scared.
Nice. Interesting, Eric. And I also want to do, I think it would be good for you. And I think maybe one day, right? Because your father's an educator. And now is your mother an administrator or is she a teacher? Your mother?
Yeah, she is also a teacher in the same
Oh,
field as my father.
oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know. I thought she was in administration, right? So that's great. So yeah, you're both parents or teachers. So you have that genetic right already in you, I guess. So that would be so another session, right? I do want you to be my teacher. May if that's all right. If you feel more comfortable teaching me Chinese, that's great. I would love to learn more Chinese. So you want to do
Yeah,
that? You can teach me. How's this? You can teach me whatever you would like to do. I think it's always good to right to practice that skill to be an educator or to teach people, right? So yeah, interesting. That's I think I'm as I get older, Eric, I'm you get more frightened of things. You get more just a pai da kai or yali. So you get more nervous doing things because of your age and because you may get injured. So I think there's more in my life that I'm nervous about. I think I'd be nervous now going deep sea diving, right? So
yeah.
yeah. All right, Eric, let me jot this down and make this bigger for you, my friend. Okay, so some vocabulary. So this will help you increase your vocabulary, hopefully. So what do you think? Yeah, go ahead and match the words, Eric.
So the first one, I am really not sure about this, so I think I might wait. And the second one, I know, wait, it's H to walk through liquids such as water.
Yes.
Yeah, and the third one, daring, it means you are not frightened to do something. Let me see. Yeah, brave enough to do something dangerous.
Yes, I would say
And
so.
four, an ordeal. I'm not sure about its meaning, but from the
Well, let me
deal,
I'll give you possibly, although you're pretty calm and collected. So when you had your midterm examinations for pretty much everyone, maybe not Mr. Eric Kong, it is an ordeal to study for these examinations. So what do you think that means?
yeah, I think now it's say an unpleasant experience that lasts for a
Yes.
long time.
Yes, yes. But however, I think maybe you enjoy it, right? That's why you do so well. Okay, what do you think about to be resilient?
Resilient, it is being strong and determined in difficult conditions.
Correct. You are resilient while taking your midterm examination. Yes. Number 6.
Number six, I think from the words I can guess, it's a kind of people. So I think be a person who is just starting to learn a new skill.
Yes. How do you pronounce that word, Eric?
So I think
To
a
be
no
a
novice maybe and
no, 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 no.
novice.
That's all right. To be a you would choose novice.
Yeah, novice.
Novice. And where do you think that originated from, that word?
Basically French. I've seen a
Yes.
lot of words coming from
Yes.
French.
Excellent. Excellent, my friend. Good. And number 7.
A slope is a surface or a place where one end is higher than the other.
Yeah. Yes.
Basically
Right.
on mountains, I think.
Correct. And that would be a geographical term, right, for geography.
Yes.
And then number 8, to have a shelter.
Number eight, it's yeah, G to protect yourself or another person from danger.
Yeah, sure. It could also be to shelter. So they're using this as a right as a verb, right? Don't
Yeah,
as a verb. What would be a shelter as a noun?
yeah.
What would it be? What would you? How would you describe a shelter in being a noun?
So for a noun, I think it is the place where wild animals live and survive.
Ah, wild animals. Okay, would you consider the your home where you are right now, would you consider that a shelter?
Yeah, of course, and
Okay.
not only wild animals, but all animals, including humans.
Yes, I would say any structure that is covering, right, or protecting someone from the elements, right, from the surrounding
Yes.
areas. Very good, nice. So then what would you think plight is?
What is now the left one, the one left is
Yeah.
C, a serious situation.
Yes, excellent. And that is what do you know that test taking technique? Do you know what that's called in English? When you remove when say you don't know something, then you go through and you have the right answers and then you go
Yeah,
back.
so you choose all of those that you know, and the only one left is the right answer that you don't know about the word.
Right. Do you know what that system or what that technique in English is called?
No, I don't know, but I have tried it a lot of times in our exams in different subjects.
Yes, that's very good. So it is called process of elimination.
Yeah, eliminate.
Yes, to eliminate. So we can just call it POE. So that is a very good way. I'm glad you do that. My problem as a test taker, I was never good at maths. So even if even if I eliminated one or two, right, I still wound up getting it wrong. But my English, of course, was very good on my tests. But yeah, that's a very good technique. Some say on these on these multiple choice questions that generally one will be, I think maybe I've explained that to you, right? Maybe like one will be completely wrong, right? So you automatically cross that off. And then another one will be relatively wrong. So you've got to
Yeah,
find that one.
most likely.
Sorry, slightly, yes, right? Slightly. So say you have no idea what the answer is. Okay. So one is completely wrong. You're smart enough to find that. So you remove that, you eliminate that one. And then they say one is close to being wrong. You try to find that one. And then the challenge is, right, selecting the two that are similar or the two that should be correct, right? All right,
Yes.
let's move down, my friend. Ooh, that's always there we go. Number two. All right. Yes, you are going to read an article. Oh, yeah, we're going to read that together below about the rescue. Oh, you about the rescue of the group of boys that were trapped in a cave in Thailand. So before you read, guess the answers to the questions below, then read the text on the next page to confirm or correct your answers. So, what do you think, Eric, from your knowledge about those boys? How many days did the boys spend trapped in the caves? Do you
Um, yeah, so it's of course more than 10 days, and all those are more than 10, and first 20 is not okay, and I think maybe A or B. I
Yeah,
choose.
that's kind of a silly question. It's kind of just wrote
Yeah.
just about your memory, but that's right. And now how long do you think the group was missing before they were found? How many days?
I'm not still sure about that. I can't even remember like the numbers. Oh, the numbers.
Yeah,
It's just
no, I know. Yeah, these are all silly. So we've got 8 minutes. Let's skip to this. I want to see the reading, and then I want to always give you something afterwards. Um, checking understanding. No, 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 no. 6. Thai Boys Rescue. Come on, what was the other one? Oh yeah, fine word. Okay, good. Okay, very good. All right, Eric, let's just go ahead and yeah, please read the blue Lance.
yeah, okay. Thai Thai boys rescued from cave the 10th of July 2018. Divers have rescued all the 13 people that were trapped in a flooded cave system in northern Thailand. The last of the 12 boys and their coach were brought out after 17 days underground and are all skinny but well.
Yes, excellent. And the only other thing, right, because there's absolutely no 不说 th ting 在汉语, right? There's no th. So, right, so obviously the only real time you practice English is in your English class. And yeah, that's interesting too. With some of your classmates, do you guys speak Chinglish together? Do you speak part English, part Chinese with some of your fellow classmates?
So I think when they speak English, of course, there are a lot of Chinese mixed into it because they don't know a lot of real English, and sometimes they do speak Chinglish, which is
Halving the
really
yeah,
funny.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I speak with my wife sometimes, right? We go half and half. That's interesting. So I mean, the only real time that I understand, right? You speak English is with me and maybe in your English class, right? But try to always practice that th sound because there is none in Chinese language, right? There's no th. So always try to practice that, even though
Yeah.
the H is silent in Thailand. Okay, we'll just go, we'll go one. I'll read one, you read one. Okay. So I'll read number two.
Okay.
The boy's plight had captured the world's attention along with the daring rescue, which ended with everyone getting safely out of the caves. Okay, go ahead, Eric.
Okay, the boys in the Wild Boars football team and aged 11 to 17 entered the caves with their 25-year-old coach on the 23rd of June. They then become trapped underground in the Tam cave system after torrential rain blocked their exit. For 9 days, they were missing, but were found alive last week by two British divers sheltering on a muddy slope inside the cave.
Very good, right? Just remember that A in there. So it's not become, it was
Yeah,
became
became past tense.
underground. And then, your Western reading, right? With the Western letters, what is it? The Roman letters, I guess. I forgot the exact terminology. So you can automatically assume that it's very similar, right? Even though it's English, it's English translated from Thai, right? It's like their version of pinyin, right? So you just say Tom Luang.
Yeah, Tom Luan.
Yeah, you're great at that, right? So don't be afraid or nervous to just read it as it looks, right? So Tom
Yes.
Luang cave system and this is torrential. Torrential. What do you think torrential rain is?
I think because it's the flooded season or rainy monsoon season, so maybe means heavy.
Yeah,
It's heavy rain or
precisely.
continuously
Excellent.
rain.
Very good. All right, I'm going to read a little bit faster. Let's try to knock this out, and then you can do that on your own here. All right, after the team was found, the mood lifted. Authorities mulled over their options to rescue them, all of them fraught with danger. Drilling holes to reach them was one solution, and so was getting oxygen and supplies to the boys and their coach until the floodwaters went down, which meant the boys would have spent months underground. This is a good word, Eric, to mull. What do you think that means?
Um, yeah, so I think it means to think for many times, think around for what are their options to
Yeah.
rescue all
Wow.
the football
Fabulous, Eric.
players.
Yes, Eric, I couldn't have said it any better. That was a great definition. Okay, Eric, read 5 and 6, please.
Okay. With more heavy rain predicted and fears that the water would rise again, the decision was made to get the team out of the caves as quickly as possible. The conditions were right to begin the operation to free the team at 10 a.m. on Sunday. After water had desperately been pumped out of the cave, the journey was extremely has it's I know the noun of it's hazard, but I'm not sure about its
Yeah,
adjective.
that's not a problem. That's another word that can be a noun or a verb, right? So this one is a verb. So what is right? It is a hazard. So what is a hazard?
Hazard is a great issue, which is you can hardly solve it or difficult
Yes,
for you to do.
correctly. So if it is a hazard, something that is dangerous, right? So I consider skydiving to be a hazard. So then what would hazardous be?
the adjective to
Yeah,
describe something
correct.
really
Excellent.
dangerous.
Very good. All right, go ahead and finish this, Eric, please.
Okay, getting to and from the buoys was an 11-hour round trip, exhausting even for expert divers. The rescue team, which was made up of 90 divers, 40 from Thailand and 50 from overseas, guided the buoys in darkness through the submerged pa passageways towards the mouths of the cave
Yeah.
system.
Yes, excellent. You see, you can hear yourself. Sometimes when you read more quickly, you read better, right? That's interesting, you know. So, all right, I'm going to read 8. I'm going to read 8, 9, and 10 quickly because we only have 2 minutes. So, diving, climbing, wading, and sometimes walking. The rescuers navigated the route with the help of a guide. We already did wade. We learned wade today. Sorry, ropes. Wait, what was that? Help. Hey, the route with the help of guide ropes. Yes, sorry. Okay, in one section of the cave, the rescuers even had to detach their own air tanks to get through a very confined space known as the T junction. The boys themselves wore full face masks, which are easier for novice. You learned that today. Divers to use. Each boy was accompanied by 2 divers who also carried their air supply. Once the boys reached a cavern called Chamber 3, which had been turned into a base for the divers. They could rest and were then taken to Chiang Rai. I've been to Chiang Rai. That's a lovely city, Eric. You should go one day.
Yeah.
Thailand, Chiang Rai Hospital. So, emphasizing how dangerous rescue was, a former Thai Navy diver, Saman Gunan, died in the caves. Oh, yeah, that's right. On a mission to provide the group with air tanks. On the way back, he lost consciousness and couldn't be revived. His colleagues said they would not let the sacrifice of our friend go to waste. Okay, what does it mean to revive, Eric?
Revive, it means to again breathing or maybe to rescue.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and read this, Eric. And then once we're cut off, go ahead and answer the questions on the next page. Okay. And then log
Okay.
back in. All right. But go ahead. Try to read this fast, Eric. 11,
Okay.
12, and 13.
The group were very resilient throughout the whole drama. The boys wrote letters carried out of the cage by divers expressing their love for their families and telling them not to worry. They also hoped they would survive the ordeal and were looking forward to tasty food. After their small amount of supplies ran out, they survived in the caves by licking drops of the water from the walls. The coach taught the boys meditation techniques, advising them not to move too much so they conserved their energy in the cave. Out of respect for the families of the boys who were still trapped in the caves, the names of the boys who were rescued first were not released